Good morning, everybody. Yeah, there it is, slowly but surely. Good morning, good morning. There it is, that was better than the first time. And let's try it one more time, good morning. Oh, that's so good, that's so good, that's so good. I love it. I was talking to our new interim provost yesterday, along with Susan McDonough, and I said, I love school. Ooh, I love school. I love the, can somebody turn me down just a little bit because I'm a little excited and I'm talking too loudly. I love school. I love the first day. I love move-in. I love new pencils. I love new pens. I love new teachers. I love new courses. My mother has purchased for me every year since I was 5 years old, a new dress for the first day of school. That's a part of why I never left school. I do like a new dress. But since she passed, I still do the same thing. First day of school, wait till the first day of class, and that'll be a new dress I have on. But I'm just delighted. I feel your energy and just all of I hope you got rest. I know some of you actually worked over the summer to prepare us for today. So I do appreciate that too, but I feel like we are energetically at a different place. I don't know about you. None of this is on my paper, by the way. But I don't know about you, but at the end of May, I was exhausted. Right? It's the cycle of an academic year. I tell people, if I promised you something in the last week of May, I don't know what I was saying by that point. But I will tell you that I'm really excited to be here today. The beginning of school is just thrilling to me, absolutely thrilling. So now I'll go to what it says on the paper. The first thing I'm supposed to do is thank our wonderful pep band. And so they are very kind to me. I attended a basketball game and they let me direct them. Which was awesome. So for those of you who don't know that, I was actually in the pep band, I was in the marching band, and I played Edie, flute. So they let me direct them. So if you ever see me doing that, it's not just a random thing. I do enjoy the pep band. So thank you to all the pep band members for giving us a beautiful introduction and celebratory feel in here today. So it is my pleasure to start my second year here as president of UMBC. Thank you. Thank you. I'm just going to tell you that you don't know how much those applause mean. The first year you were applauding because you were nice. The second year you know something about me and you're still applauding. So I do appreciate that. It is a privilege to be here. It seems like it was just literally yesterday when I was really new to UMBC and standing here and not recognizing almost any of your faces, and now I come in the room and I know a lot of you. But there are 14,000 of you, more than 14,000 of you, and so I'm still learning people and still learning departments and still learning your expertise and still learning about your contributions to UMBC, and I'm excited to continue on that path this year. Trust me, we will get to know each other. If you don't know me yet, we will get there. And I'm excited about that because I know you're doing great work, and I can't wait to learn more about it. None of that was on my paper. I'm not sure why I wrote notes. I'm not sure why I wrote notes. Okay, so I'm going to go to the next thing that I think I'm supposed to do here, and this is really important, and so I'll just pause for a moment to do our land acknowledgement. UMBC was established upon the land of the Piscataway and Susquehannock peoples. Over time, citizens of many more indigenous nations have come to reside in this region. We humbly offer our respects to all past, present, and future indigenous people connected to this place. Thank you. And so now we welcome all of you who have joined us in person, and we welcome all who are joining us online. And I'm excited to share some of the new things that are happening at UMBC, over some things that happened last year, new things for this year, and to introduce you to some new members of our community. First, I want to acknowledge my fellow university leaders who are seated here in the front and probably all throughout, and those especially who have made this event happen today. Please join me in thanking the events team and the partners of the events team, both in Human Resources and the Professional Staff Senate, for helping to welcome us into our fall opening meeting today. Thank you to all of those people. I am also enormously grateful to all of you for the work that you have done, that you continue to do every day, and that you have done over this past year. I want to offer a few thank yous here specifically. First, to our staff across campus. If you are in the room and you are staff, please stand. Thank you so much. I would just want to call out this, all of you are essential individuals, but I want to call out some folks who sometimes we don't see and may not be in this room. To our essential individuals who keep our campus beautiful and clean. Our campus is beautiful. To those who provide us nourishment in our dining facilities, we are grateful to them. To those who attend to the many needs of this city-like community, our infrastructure, our services, our facilities, our safety, our security, to all of you who keep this place running and running so well, I am truly grateful, so thank you. And if you, go ahead, please. I know that you do this because you are gracious people, but as you see those people around campus who don't actually come to events like this, you know who I'm talking about, right? But are doing the work that keep this place going, stop, especially today, especially as we start the semester, and thank them for what they do, because they don't hear it perhaps in here, because they're off doing their work. But please take the opportunity and do that. I'm also grateful to all those staff and faculty whose work touches students, whether directly or indirectly. Those of you who are teaching, mentoring, advising, caring for the physical and mental well-being of our students, helping them to persist and to succeed in their UMBC journeys, and guiding them to productive paths beyond graduation. I am truly grateful to all of you. The connections that you make and the ways that you support them will provide a huge difference in their lives now and in the future. And now I want to take a moment to celebrate 2 staff members whose work has been honored recently by this University System of Maryland Board of Regents. The Board of Regents Staff Awards are the highest honors bestowed by the board to recognize exemplary staff achievement. Each year, 1 exempt USM employee and 1 non-exempt USM employee is honored in each of 5 categories. That means there are 10 people honored from across the system schools. And UMBC had 2 winners in that group this year. I know, that deserves applause, right? For those of you who do math, we got more than our share. Stanielle Odom. Come on down here. She gonna make me cry. Oh, Stanielle, I love you so much. So you're not going anywhere yet. Stand right there. Stand right there. Oh, my goodness. Stanielle is the Director of Alumni Engagement in the Office of Institutional Advancement. She has been in that role since 2011. Stanielle has been honored with the USM Board of Regents Staff Award in the category of Extraordinary Public Service to the University and Greater Community. Congratulations to you, Stanielle. Thank you. Oh, my goodness. So I'm going to tell you one of the best parts of my job is when I get to pick up the phone and congratulate people on the work that they've done and on their recognition. And I had the chance to talk to Stanielle and also our next recipient over the summer, and what a privilege it is to work with you and actually say for you. And so congratulations to Stanielle. And our second recipient is Margot Young. I don't know if Margot's here. I don't think that Margot is Margot here? Okay, I don't think that Margot's in the room. So Margot is the Director of Earth and Space Research Administration since 2020, and she has been honored with the USM Board of Regents Staff Award in the category of Effectiveness and Efficiency. Both Stanielle and Margot have been a part of the UMBC family for several years. Stanielle since 2006 and Margot since 2009. And their positive impact on this community has been significant. Again, please join me in congratulating them on this highest of honors. That is so thrilling. Now, to those of you who were with us last year, I want to offer my sincere thanks for your extraordinary participation in thinking about UMBC's future in our BOLD listening sessions last spring. Those were deeply engaging discussions with more than 1,000 attendees about our aspirations for our undergraduate and graduate student experience, the research enterprise, economic development, community engagement, and much more. Thank you to our honorary co-chairs, Speaker Adrian Jones, and Board of Visitors Chair Alan Wilson. For those of you who may be new to our community, you may not know that Speaker Adrian Jones is also a very, very proud alum of UMBC. And she advocates for us daily. And so we are grateful for that. I also want to thank our acting co-chairs, our active co-chairs, Professors Vandana Janeja, Michelle Scott, and Vice President of Institutional Advancement, Greg Simmons. Let's thank them again. We also had 26 staff, faculty, and student and alumni leaders who facilitated 22 listening sessions. That was a lift. The spring semester is always challenging. March, April, May, same calendar, right? April is up. And we were doing this during that time, and so I am so grateful for those 26 volunteers. If you happen to have been one of those folks who led one of our listening sessions, faculty, staff, or students or alum, if you're in the room, would you please stand? Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate your service. Throughout these conversations, again and again, I had the opportunity to hear our community affirm the values that unite us. And it was beautiful because I actually was able to attend. I didn't know if we were going to be able to pull this off with my calendar, but I was actually able to attend every single one of the 22 sessions and listen to you. I heard your hearts, I heard your minds, I heard your ideas, I heard your willingness, I heard your hopefulness, I heard your energy, and it was just so energizing. I also heard your exhaustion. Did you all hear me? I also heard you say, we can't keep doing it just like this. It's not sustainable. We're exhausted. So I heard all of that. And I'm really excited because all of those ideas, and by the way, I took pages of notes myself in every single session, in addition to a wonderful report that was given to me by our co-chairs, a very thorough report. That was given to me by our co-chairs. In addition to that, we debriefed the sessions with those 26 folks who were leading so that they could also share what they heard. And so we have really gotten a lot of feedback. And so I have a lovely report from a long and lovely report from our co-chairs. And what we're going to do is create a much smaller, and they've actually written a summary. And we're just going to share that summary with you. In the next couple of weeks, we'll put it on the BOLD website, and we'll let you know when it's there so you can see the summary. I read the summary again last night, and the reason it's not posted today is because I wanted to make the summary longer. Because I was in every session, but I have to think about it like you who were not in every session. And I want to make sure you get enough information to get a flavor of what some of the overriding themes were. So we're going to work on that just a little bit more before we send it out to you. But let me tell you a few of the things that I heard that were pretty consistent, very consistent. First, you articulated aims and questions related to how we recruit, support, and truly become accessible and welcoming to the broadest possible range of students. That was clear. You also aspire to new heights in research across all of the disciplines. I heard that. You also want to build upon our Research One status and to continue to innovate in undergraduate and graduate education. Some of the ideas around how we will innovate in graduate education was pretty exciting, and you know that we will have a conversation once we have our permanent provost as far as a new curriculum is concerned. You also spoke eloquently of the opportunity and responsibility for UMBC to deepen its engagement with our local community And I said it in a session, and I've heard it spoken back to me, so I have to be careful what I say. But I actually meant this. There is a B in UMBC. And I've heard you say you want us to pay more attention to Baltimore. I live in Baltimore. We will pay more attention to Baltimore. It is a beautiful place, and it is to our mutual benefit to do so. And you expressed a desire for us to remain focused on our values of community and inclusive excellence, even as I heard you say, I think we need to have a conversation so that we all know what we mean by inclusive excellence today. Oh, we're going to do that. It's going to be so fabulous. And you pointed out the need for innovation and creativity to garner new resources. We all recognize we cannot do this on a tuition-based model, which is what we presently have. And so you talked about the need for human resources, which is why some of you are exhausted, financial resources, facilities, how will we grow, where will we grow, and having the resources to support all of this, all of these bold ideas that you put forward. And you also expressed an idea, a desire for this gem that I call UMBC to be more visible nationally and internationally. And so those are some of the overarching themes that I heard, but remember I told you I had pages and pages. So if something was only said once, I still wrote it down because I heard you. And so we will again offer a summary, a little bit more extended than what I received, but not very long summary, because we will be having these conversations, and we're going to use those themes that came out of the listening sessions to lead us through our strategic planning, which we will be talking with shared governance about how we launch that. And so you'll hear more from us after we've had some of those conversations with shared governance later in September about how we will launch. But I will tell you this, everybody will have an opportunity to participate in and be heard and engage. I know that's what we do. This is UMBC, that's what we do. And we are better for it. So I am looking forward to that, launching in the fall. And also, I'm thinking, but we will see, that we will be completing our strategic planning in the spring. I have heard repeatedly from you, we just spent 22 hours talking, please tell me we're not about to plan to plan. We are not about to plan to plan. But we will talk with shared governance and some of our leaders and get a sense of how we engage the full community before we start to narrow down on some very focused ideas. So with that, I just want to say thank you again, and I'm looking forward to this process with you. I can't wait to see all that we're going to become. Oh my goodness. It's already wonderful. Now imagine when we all get on the same page of what inclusive excellence actually is today and what it's going to mean in all those areas that we just discussed. It's going to be an exciting, exciting moment for us. So I'm looking forward to that. And so I also want to take this opportunity to introduce some folks who are new to our campus. They're going to be a part of this strategic planning, and certainly much of what we're talking about lands very clearly in their areas. And so first, though she has been on campus since April, this is my first opportunity to introduce her to the whole campus community in person, Tanika Barber. Tanika is our Vice President for Institutional Equity and Chief Diversity Officer. To say she has hit the ground running is an understatement. She's met with many of you, and many of you have run to her. And I could not be more pleased or grateful for the strategic work that she will be doing and undertaking. And by the way, you know, nothing that you do is wasted, even if you did it before I arrived. So I just have to call out, as I see Orianne sitting here and Carol, the Inclusive Excellence Report. Tell me, and the work from the implementation team, I'm not using the right words, but do you all know what I'm talking about? Inclusion Council, thank you. Thank you for the words. The report is phenomenal. It is, I have seen many people attempt to do an inclusive excellence report, a diversity report. This is the best I've ever seen. It's phenomenal. And I just, again, always want to thank them. but also part of what I heard you say through that report before I was here for the first day was that you wanted us to have a person, a vice president, who would be responsible for institutional equity because it means that much, not just on our campus, but in the world these days. You can't do without it. And you pointed out to me that we did not have that. So we were able to immediately go into launching that search and really do that work, knowing that just out of that report. And so it is a privilege to welcome Tanika Barber here, and I'm just going to ask her to come and say a few words to you. Thank you.
Good morning, afternoon. Are we in the morning yet? So, right in the afternoon. Okay. Thank you, President Shears Ashby, for the introduction. I was asked to give a few remarks about why I chose UMBC. And I didn't prepare anything because people have asked me this question often in the past 4 months, and my answer has not changed. This work is personal for me. Right, so I'm a first-generation college student. I was a non-traditional graduate student, being a single parent. At that time, my daughter was 5 years old, so I was raising her and had to bring her to the law library with me often for a lot of days and nights while I studied. So I know what it is like to have some challenges to overcome in your academics. My daughter is neurodivergent, and so I've had to advocate for her and through high school in particular and in her years in college. So I know what those struggles are like of having to navigate to have access to education. And so I've been doing civil rights-based work, DEI-related work for 20 years. And I was, before coming to UMBC, I was at a particular institution, well, a company where I loved the work that I was doing, but I was in a position where I felt like I had to shrink myself in order to appease others. And so that just was not sustainable for me in a workplace. And so I was talking to my mentor one day, and she sent me the solicitation from the search firm for this position and said, I think you need to apply for this position. Now, I am a Morgan alum, and so I said, I cannot cheat on my alma mater by working for another state institution, right? So I thought about it for a couple of weeks before I actually applied. And before applying, I went and looked on the website. So I saw that you had a fabulous new president, right? So I began to research you as well because I wanted to work for an institution that was genuinely committed to diversity, equity, and inclusion and belonging. So I looked at some speeches and I looked at some things about the president's background, and I said, okay, I can work with that, right? I also went and looked at the Inclusion Council work, because that was expressly noted in the solicitation from the search firm. And so I've worked with institutions across the country who have done work around DEI and put together some strategic plans and recommendations. But I have to echo what the president said in terms of seeing that report from Inclusion Council. That was another check for me, like this is a place that I want to pursue. Because it was concrete, it was realistic, right? And it was practical in terms of the recommendations. And it also covered some things that are often forgotten, like faculty and staff, right? So we often, when we think about DEI-related work, we focus a lot on students, which is great, right? That's a foundation of our work, but universities are also places of employment. And so we have to have productive and inclusive environments for our faculty and staff as well. So seeing that that was included in the Inclusion Council report was another check for me. And they also covered kind of non-traditional things like our relationship with prison labor, right? They also talked about going beyond just having a land acknowledgement, but taking some concrete steps to recognize Native people. And so I said, this is a really progressive plan and some recommendations. And so this is a place that I can get behind and want to work for and kind of come and partner with to help you think about what inclusive excellence is and to just build upon that foundation, that solid foundation and fertile ground that already exists here at UMBC. So I am pleased to be able to work in this space and be a partner with everyone here, faculty, staff, and students, to help us build up the division of institutional equity so that we are providing kind of equitable, diverse, welcoming environments for students, faculty, and staff. So thank you so much, and I look forward to continuing to work with you all.
We did good, didn't we? Uh-huh. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. I feel so good about it. And, you know, that Morgan thing, whatever. Okay, I just had to. Okay. So next, I would like to introduce our new Vice President for Student Affairs, Renique Kirsch. We are thrilled that Renique has joined us. It is a homecoming for her since she began her career here at UMBC many years ago. And so I'm happy that she's here with us in person today, and she literally is just starting her role. I tease her, I say she's been here 2 minutes and 59 seconds. But we welcome Renique here to our campus, and if you will, come and say a few words.
Hello, everyone. I am extremely thrilled to be here with you today, and thank you, President Shears Ashby, for that introduction. And absolutely, I have been here definitely 2 minutes and 59 seconds. But I want to first extend a thank you to many of the folks around the room who welcomed me either through LinkedIn or emails, phone calls, once the announcement came out. I cannot really even express fully what an honor and a privilege it is to stand before you as the new Vice President for Student Affairs. For me, it's been a professional journey and a personal one. As the President alluded to, I began my career here at UMBC as a community director in Susquehanna Hall. I studied UMBC. Yeah! I hear it looks similar to it when I was there, so. So I'll let you know once I go and do the tour. But you know, what drew me to UMBC at that time is honestly the same thing that drew me back to UMBC. I truly believe, and I've heard it almost every minute of every day since I started this role, that this is a very special place. The faculty and the staff are committed and on the cutting edge. And the students, I have to tell you, my favorite part of the interview was when I sat with the students. They are humble, they are driven, and they are a force to be reckoned with. And I cannot wait to get in the room with them, engage with them, and to learn from them. And although I was born and raised in Michigan, I truly believe that the state of Maryland is actually my home. Over the last, my parents probably will be upset, so don't let them know that I said that. But over the last several weeks, we've packed a house, dropped off one kiddo to school in California, dropped another kiddo off in Ohio, jumped in the car to prepare for this exciting journey back home. And to say it's been a blur is an understatement, but as I shared with my team on Monday at our division kickoff, I am all in. The theme of our kickoff on Monday was on building a legacy of excellence. And I chose that theme both to honor the tremendous contributions of so many faculty and staff over the last 57 years, and also to prepare and get excited for the legacy that I know that we will build together over the next 57 years and beyond. I come to you today as a servant leader with a heart to lead with humanity and grace. I come to you as a scholar and a practitioner with a readiness to collaborate on a vision that keeps students at the center and recognizes that our students change. As our students change, so too must our philosophies, so too must our policies, our practices, our structures in order to continue to meet the need. I come to you as a colleague and a champion who is committed to bringing my best to every single table that I sit at. I come to you prepared to engage in what I know will be many, many challenging conversations, and I've already had many of those in my first 2 minutes. But those lead to innovative solutions and they lead to coordinated efforts. I come to you ready to listen and to learn. I'm a huge fan of quotes, and you will hear me say this multiple times, but I'm also a huge fan of Michelle Obama. I read her book on Audible in the car. I'm pretty sure I felt like she was my best friend sitting next to me in the car. And in her recent book, she encouraged, do serious work in a joyful way. So I'm here to do serious work. I'm here to do important work, work that can never be done in a silo, but requires the energy, expertise, and insight of everyone in this room. When I walked into my office on Saturday, I got here on Friday officially. When I walked into my office on Saturday, I saw a sign on my desk that said, "Students are our work." Our students are our work, and over the next 90 days, as I listen and learn and engage in serious and important work specific to the student experience, I will do so with joy, I will do so with purpose, and I cannot wait to get to know each and every one of you in this room and have an opportunity to work with you toward our collective vision. So I thank you again for the warm welcome, and I'm really, really proud to be coming home, to be back in the Retriever community.
Okay, I'll just say it again. We did good, didn't we? We really did. We really did. And finally, it is my pleasure to introduce to you all David Dowalder. David is just starting again, 2 minutes and a few seconds, as our interim provost for UMBC while we continue our national search. We are grateful for David's service in the interim period and for the strategic collaborations I know that he will develop with many of you and with us as we proceed with our strategic planning. So I welcome David.
Thank you, President Shears-Aspey. And thanks to you for the very warm welcome I have received since coming here to UMBC. I'm really pleased to be here. I'm certainly impressed with all the accomplishments at this university, and I'm excited to work with you. I'm here for 9.5 months. I'm coming here connected. I got connected to UMBC through the Registry for College and University Presidents, which is basically a higher ed temp agency. So I'm a temp. But I've come here to help this institution, to hope to help this institution continue to move forward and to prepare for the long-term leader that you are going to hire as a result of the continued search process. I come to UMBC with 22 years in provost and vice president for academic affairs roles. I've worked at 3 publics, 3 privates. I've also been a dean of business for 6 years at 3 different institutions, a couple of them on interim roles. And I was 8 months as an interim president as well. My degrees are from Northern Arizona University, my bachelor's, and master's and doctoral degrees from Arizona State University. And I thought I might just kind of characterize what I kind of think are my career themes. What I look at as my career themes, 2 things. One is transitions. I've witnessed and been a part of transitions at a number of different institutions across the country. And many of those transitions are the transitions that a lot of universities have gone through from small teacher college to then an applied arts university toward becoming a research institution and so on. So this transition that UMBC is going through, I think, is really an important one. You're going certainly through a transition of presidential leadership where you've had outstanding leadership for many, many, many years, a retirement, and now an additional outstanding leadership now for just a couple of years as the institution moves forward. But working to promote those and support those transitions has been a part of what I've done. The second theme that I see is an effort to strive to develop systems and processes that promote success, that achieve efficiencies in operation, and emphasize collaboration and transparency. And part of that transparency that I want to bring about is basically a list of things that the president has asked me to work on and accomplish this year. And that list includes getting this institution started on Middle States reaccreditation. We have a visit scheduled in 2026, so we've got to get started on that. To conduct operational assessments, looking at organizational structure, looking at fiscal support of academic affairs units, looking at policies and procedures, and making some recommendations and working with the campus in making appropriate changes in those areas if necessary. Looking at enrollment, working on another 3-year strategic enrollment plan. She's also asked me to take a look at and perhaps create a process for a review of general education. Now that's a really difficult task for a lot of institutions to go through. I have my doubts it'll be done in 9 months, but who knows? No. But anyway, I think we at least ought to try to create a process through which this campus can examine its general education program and take a look at that through the lens of the future, and also to help with the strategic planning process. All of that in addition to just doing the provost's job. So, no problem there. All of this, though, I look at as being in the context of this university becoming a 21st century model of a Research One and student success-centered university. Both of those are extremely important. So I'm excited to be here for 9.5 months. I'm sure there's plenty to do. Will keep me busy and keep all of you busy as well. Thank you for the invitation to come, and I'm pleased to be here, and we're ready to work hard at it. Okay.
And again, I am delighted to have David here. I love how he describes a higher ed temp agency for presidents and provosts. Okay. I will tell you, rarely do I tell people why I chose them while they're in other people's presence, but let me tell you why I chose David. I watched him listen. And if you've met with him, he's a listener. I know that he respects shared governance. I heard that, like I know that. I love that he's had all of these experiences that I've never had. So I'm looking, actually he thinks he's serving me, but I'm gonna learn some things from him in some significant ways. But I just appreciated his humanity. You'll get to know more about him. He's gentle. By the way, you're used to a general provost. You're used to a beautiful human in a provost, and you have that in David. So I'm just excited, and I'm honored that he would choose to spend, 9.5 months or so with us here at UMBC. It is important for us to continue to move forward, and I'm sure that he will help us to do that. So I can't wait for you to get to know him. I told him my biggest problem is going to be that you're not going to want him to go. That's going to be my biggest problem. But he has to. Because he... So just anybody who was thinking, I'm trying to sneak him in the back door, no. You actually this is actually true. You can't be a member of the registry without signing paperwork saying that you will never take the permanent job. So that just takes away all the conspiracy theories, right? So, because you know us, we have some conspiracy theories. So he is truly here to help us just to continue to move forward while we continue our search. And so I am grateful for him and for all of our new leaders who have joined us. And before I take my seat, I thought maybe I'll take this moment. I'm following none of the notes. My communications person is on her honeymoon, so I'm just out here doing whatever I want to do. If she's watching it, she's like, what is she doing? I promise I won't wreck the train. I promise I won't. I promise I won't. She's in Italy, so, time zone. By the time she sees this, it's going to be too late to stop me. Oh, my gosh. So let me just say a word here, seriously, about the provost search, which is really exciting. I don't know how many of you read the email that I sent out in June. I'm going to assume that you didn't, because you had other things to do. Some of you have read it because you've told me you have, but many probably have not. The email basically says we're continuing the provost search because I didn't find the person that I think is right for us yet. It's just that simple, right? By the way, I found people who wanted us, right? That's making my people out here freak out that I'm saying that. I'm whispering it because I want to care for those people who were in the search. You know what it's like? You ever put yourself out there for a search and you didn't get chosen? Ouch, right? I didn't make any offers, for those of you who are wondering. Didn't make a single one because I had yet to find the person that made my heart feel good about being a part of who we are yet and who we're going to be at UMBC. By the way, when I met David, I was like, ooh, if I had felt that, I would have hired him. That's how I also knew. I met David, and I was like, oh, this is a no-brainer right there. So we will continue our search. Executive searches are interesting processes because it's really about who's available at the moment. So 6 months from now is different than 6 months before because people will raise their hand at different times. But we also had a chance to go through this process. And by the way, let me thank the search committee, who is so wonderful. They're going to continue their work. Yeah. They're going to continue their work, and we are going to find our person. I trust processes. That's one thing you will learn about me. I don't get nervous. I trust processes. And we will find exactly the person. The same way you feel about these 3 people, we're going to feel like that when we get our provost. So it is just a privilege to continue that process. We'll keep you informed as to how that is moving forward. And I look forward. What's so exciting to me is the person who's going to be our provost doesn't even know that yet. They don't know they're about to leave their job. They don't know they're about to pack up and move from Michigan and come home, right? They don't know that yet. So it's exciting to me to continue this process, and I'm determined to find us someone who you feel great about, and so do I. So we're going to keep doing that work, and we've had incredibly qualified candidates, but UMBC, as you heard it over here, is a special place. Yeah, it's a special place. And fit for me is everything. So we'll continue that work, and I'm looking forward to it. So with that, I am excited to introduce, well, I'm not introducing Kathy Detloff to you. You know Kathy Detloff. I'm excited to have Kathy come and talk to you about many other changes that are happening around our campus. So welcome to Kathy.
Thank you, President Cheers Ashby. This is such an exhilarating time of year, and I'm thrilled to be here along all of you as we kick off the semester. It was great seeing so many of you last week at the picnic sponsored by professional staff and non-exempt staff senates. Now, we just met 3 of our new fantastic colleagues who are new to campus, and I'm excited to meet other new members of our community. I invite any of you who are new to us in the past year to post your name and department. If you are joining us online, post that in the chat. And if you are in the room, please stand. On behalf of the entire UMBC community, I welcome you to this remarkable institution. I'm going to take a moment and continue with the theme of gratitude as I share an example of the community that you are joining. As I arrive on campus each day and look down Academic Row, an enormous sense of pride washes over me. The campus is truly stunning. This is a credit to the diligent efforts of our facilities team, who have been working tirelessly without complaint, particularly over the last 8 months, achieving these remarkable results. I am truly grateful for that entire team. However, what I truly wish to do right now is take a moment to express my profound gratitude to each member of the UMBC community. As you are undoubtedly aware, the damage incurred upon numerous buildings on December 25th was a devastating blow. Icicles were hanging down the exterior of the Bio-Schwartz building in a frozen cascade. Rain showers dampened the administrative building's lecture hall, and a flood inundated the lobby of the biology building. These instances were just a fraction of the numerous frozen and busting pipes and coils scattered across our campus. Mere days later, the mechanical room of the administration building was submerged under 16 feet of water. The progress achieved by the teams before staff's return on January 4th and more progress before the beginning of the spring semester on January 30th was truly remarkable. This would not have been attainable without the collaboration between the facilities management team, EHS, our partners at ABM and Residential Life, as well as building managers and many, many others. The way the community rallied together to not only bolster the institution, but also to support one another was extraordinary. It underscores the deep dedication you hold for this institution and for this campus. The unity displayed by you all throughout this difficult period exemplifies the true essence of community. To each of you, I extend my heartfelt appreciation for the unwavering support you have provided me personally, the teams on the ground, and the entire community. We're also grateful to the state of Maryland for its support of our institution, and we remain committed to being good stewards of our resources. In working to improve our policies, practices, and procedures, we have made investments in many areas, including increasing allocations to all the colleges. Notably, this year, we've made investments in student disability services, enrollment management, the Academic Success Center, the Career Center, and the University Police Department. In partnership with the Division of Student Affairs, we were able to expand our bus routes, enhance our dining options, and continue to be focused on improving services for students, faculty, and staff. I hope you're pleased to see the cafe in the administration building is now open on a daily basis. And additionally, you'll find some new exciting venues in the Commons. We have Copperhead Jack's, which is a Southwest kitchen, and also Sorrento's. The things that you guys love. We are also committed to developing and supporting our staff. So in the current year, we've welcomed 343 new employees to campus, and 62 are experienced retrievers. I guess we now have 63 experienced retrievers. And we're inviting all staff to take advantage of the USM-wide Professional Development Week being held September 18th through September 22nd. It's virtual and at no cost, so that's cool. So please explore all the opportunities that are available. Additionally, our own HR team will be offering professional development focused on change management later this fall. And this training will guide participants in transforming uncertainty into opportunity. So just last week, you saw that the staging area was established in preparation for the upcoming Sherman Hall renovation. So this renovation will take place in 2 distinct phases over the next 3 years. Upon completion, Sherman Hall will emerge as an energy-efficient, technology-advanced space, replete with upgraded furnishings and fixtures. Are you wondering where you can find your colleagues who are displaced by the renovation? They really can be found in various locations around campus. So some of the locations are 900 Walker, which is formerly the courthouse, Sondheim Hall, the other side of Sherman Hall, or the West Wing, the engineering building, and the facilities management building. I truly appreciate everyone who worked with us to find space and make space for these units, because it allowed us to earmark the remaining space in 900 Walker for a makerspace and a cyber range. 900 Walker is also the home to the Center for Real-Time Distributed Sensing and Autonomy, which we call CARDS, and IHARP, which is the Institute for Harnessing Data and Model Revolution. Finally, the lower level houses the SAE Baja team, the Snowmobile Club, Retriever Robotics, and independent study for the Kinetic Sculpture course. In a recent transformation, the Meyerhoff Lecture Hall has undergone a complete renovation encompassing new seating, updated finishes, improved lighting, and new HVAC and AV systems. So as you know, President Cheers Ashby has been utilizing the 7th floor of the library for her office since the elevator issues in the administration building. The experience has been highly beneficial for her, as well as for faculty, for staff, and for students. So she is considering permanently relocating the president's office to the library. Plans have not been developed yet, so we don't anticipate a new permanent location for the president's office until sometime next fall. Other improvements to the library include renovations to the first floor to accommodate the Academic Success Center and the establishment of a new innovation lab, and they're just waiting for like one more piece of equipment on that project. As promised, BGE has diligently engaged in the installation of the electrical feeder. You'll see the work. So I'm sure you've seen that the work of the project that began off campus on Shelbourne Road and is progressing around Hilltop Circle. As of now, the project remains on schedule for completion by December of this year, and we are really, truly grateful for BG&E for partnering with us on that endeavor. Numerous other projects are concurrently underway across campus, although not all of them might capture immediate attention. Our efforts encompass a range of tasks, including roof repairs and replacement, sidewalk installation, comprehensive site work, updates to plumbing and electrical systems, and identifying locations for those displaced from Sherman Hall. Additionally, our focus has been on elevator repairs. Not funny. Work continues on the elevators that are currently not operable. We are in the final stages of work on one of the 2 elevator cars in the administration building. Unfortunately, we do not anticipate that work to be complete until early October. I know this is disappointing, but please know that facilities management, together with our contractor, continues to look for any and all opportunities to improve this timeline. We will provide you updates as soon as we have any new information available. Your patience and flexibility are truly valued and appreciated. Progress also continues on the 2 elevators in the biology building, and we anticipate one of those elevators will also be up by mid-October. Now it's my pleasure to shift our focus to our exceptional students. This academic year holds a sense of eager anticipation as we prepare to welcome an estimated 2,000 new first-time students, accompanied by 800 transfer students, and an impressive number of 1,055 new graduate students. These fresh faces will join the ranks of more than 10,000 returning retrievers, underscoring the vibrant community that is our student body. A heartfelt thank you is extended to all of you who contributed to bringing together this diverse cohort. As we embark on Welcome Week, I extend my gratitude in advance to each of you for extending a warm campus-wide welcome to our students. I'm thrilled to provide you with the opportunity to meet some of our exceptional retrievers. Joining us is Christian Giussani, a dynamic individual who is poised to begin his academic journey as a first-year student in our esteemed Honors College, which speaks volumes to his dedication and potential. Please join me in welcoming Christian to the podium.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Christian Giussani. I am an incoming first-year student at UMBC and also a proud member of the Honors College. I am from Hagerstown, Maryland, where I graduated from a small private school. I plan to major in political science and potentially pick up global studies as a second major. My interest in political science started during my high school's mock Congress. It was then that I made a plan for myself, and that plan would one day get me to my dream of working on Capitol Hill. I must admit, when originally looking at colleges, UMBC was not on the plan I had made. But after many tours of college campuses, none of them felt right for me. It was around this time that my father's friend suggested touring UMBC, so I agreed to do a tour. Going to my first tour of UMBC, I knew nothing about this school except apparently chess is a really big deal here. However, as the tour went on, I got a sense of belonging. During my tour, something my grit guide said particularly stood out to me. She said, "At UMBC, we do not create competition among our students, but rather our students build each other up." At that moment, I knew this was the school for me. UMBC had that thing I was searching for in a school. I wanted a school that would challenge me academically, but also support me every step of the way. After I committed to UMBC, my love for the school only grew. It was at Humanities Day where I got to meet some amazing professors, attend seminars that gave me a taste of what classes here at UMBC would be like, and get to enjoy UMBC's famous homemade potato chips for the first time. During New Student Day, I got to hear speakers such as Dr. Filomeno, who made me even more excited to be a political science major. However, it was at Scholars Orientation that I got to meet the amazing Dr. Stacy and Dr. K. But it was my honor advisor, Kendall Walker, who made the biggest impression on me. I joined the Honors College off the wait list. Therefore, I was added to the orientation list very short notice. Kendall came up to me at orientation and addressed me by name, and truthfully, I was very surprised. I was added to this list just a few days ago. She had no reason to know who I was. That small thing, such as knowing my name, made a huge impact on me and taught me what it means to call yourself a retriever. To be a retriever is to always make sure that everyone feels included and cared for. As the 2023 fall semester approaches, I have much to look forward to. The excitement of classes, the joy of meeting new people and seeing the friends I've already made this summer, but most importantly, I get to be surrounded by a community that wants me and all my fellow peers to succeed. So thank you to everyone at UMBC for not only welcoming me with open arms, but everyone else who is involved with this amazing university. Here's to an amazing 2023 fall semester. Thank you. I would now like to turn it over to our next speaker, Maklit Yante, an incoming transfer student from Howard Community College.
Thank you, Christian. Good morning. How's everyone doing today? Good. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Maklit Yante. I'm a biological science major. I'm on the pre-med track. And I chose this major because it prepares me for the academic aspect of the field I want to get into. I love science, healthcare, and the elderly, so the end-term goal is to be a geriatrician. I'm originally from Ethiopia. I was born and raised there. My journey from high school to UMBC had a detour, and it was quite a long one. After high school, I got a scholarship at a university in Erie, Pennsylvania, but due to personal reasons, I wasn't able to attend there. Instead, I ended up joining CCBC. At that time, I was working, I was adjusting to a new country, and I was paying like out-of-state price, and that was like 3 times the original price, and I was just not adjusting well. So I figured I needed to take time to save a good amount of money and set up a plan where I can work full-time while also taking part in extracurriculars. So I took some time off school. And then I started working as a cardiac monitor tech and a pharmacy tech while also saving for school. And a couple of years later, I moved to Ellicott City and I started attending Howard Community College. Howard Community College was a really good experience for me. It was a time where I got to put into like everything that I learned within those gap years. I was able to put in the work into it. During the gap years, I worked on bettering myself. I learned a lot from books, from people, and obstacles, and that would be one of the most challenging yet influential moments of my life. And then at Howard Community College, I wanted more than just attending classes and doing the basic things. So I started getting involved. I started doing research with the engineering department there. I started serving in the leadership team and the pre-med club and also the Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society. In addition to that, I also started volunteering at the local fire station as an emergency medical technician, and I also started shadowing physicians at St. Agnes Hospital and Johns Hopkins Hospital. With all the extracurriculars I had going on, I made sure my education was not compromised. All throughout my stay at HCC, I was on the dean's list, and to be honest, it's not just the academic aspect or the extracurriculars. I would say those gap years really helped me build a healthy lifestyle, and because of that, I was able to maintain a really nice balance where I was growing, but also facing the challenge head on. And now we're at UMBC. So UMBC, I had a good understanding of what the school was about, but at that time, I wasn't really sure which school I wanted to attend. And UMBC actually had a webinar through the Honor Society I mentioned earlier. So out of curiosity, I just joined the webinar. And to be honest, that was the time I decided, okay, UMBC. Because during that time, a lot of faculty members, so the team was there. They expressed the things that you would not find on the internet, but in-house things that are going on, and that made me realize how UMBC would be a great place to spend the rest of the 2 years of undergrad. I learned about the great academic aspects. I learned about the emphasis on research, the great cohort, diverse cohort as well. And I also got to meet the faculty, which was one of the top reasons I wanted to join UMBC. Looking back, my journey was not easy, but I wouldn't change a thing about it. I went from being a spoiled teenager to a hardworking and resilient woman. I understood the value of time, and I learned to make every minute count. And I'm excited to join UMBC. It's really a pleasure to be here. I do want to take this time to say Ms. Desiree Selling, Kendall Walker, Anna Conger, and Dr. Calbert Kay, thank you so much for the exposure that day. I'm really happy to be here. I'm looking forward to exchanging knowledge, experience with fellow students and faculty. I hope this is going to be a year where we thrive through challenges, grow stronger and wiser. And most of all, I hope my stay here at UMBC will be one where I look back and see how far I've come and use that experience for a good cause. Thank you so much. Thank you, and now I would like to turn it to our next speaker, Honor Booth, an incoming graduate student.
Thank you, Maklit. Aloha mai kako, tuchu waganabira. It is my pleasure to greet you in Olelo, Hawaii, the language of my home, and Uchinaguchi, the language of my Luchuan ancestors. My name is Honor Shore Eileen Booth, and I am an analytical environmental chemist from Oahu, Hawaii. I received my BS in Global Environmental Science, my BA in Chemistry, and my Master of Science in Chemistry, all from the University of Hawaii at Manoa. This semester, I am beginning the pursuit of my PhD in Environmental Engineering in Dr. Lee Blaney's laboratory in the Department of Chemical, Biochemical, and Environmental Engineering. Public health cannot exist without environmental health. In Hawaii, both are constantly threatened by military occupation and over-tourism. The contamination of our drinking water on Oahu by the US Navy put into sharp relief the lack of analytical services needed to quickly respond to the crisis. My goal as a PhD student is to develop new methods for measuring and treating contaminants in water, and to return home with these tools and the expertise to run an analytical laboratory that meets my island community's needs. When considering PhD programs, I was looking for more than just a space to gain knowledge, and do research in. I wanted an environment where I would grow as a leader in my field and to be a part of a laboratory that worked as a team. Really, I chose UMBC because of the people. In my communications with the students and the staff of CBEE, it was apparent that I had found a program with what I wanted that would also value me as a collaborator and allow me to bring my own meaning to my research. I'm so excited to learn alongside the rest of my UMBC community this year, and also to grow with my research team. And to my new UMBC community, and especially my fellow students, wherever you are coming from, just remember that you bring the meaning. Thank you.
Awesome. I'm going to ask everybody sitting down there who can stand up and give our students a round of applause. And if you so choose, you can remain on your feet because I am going to let you go to lunch. So welcome back, everybody. I am just delighted to see each one of you. Thank you for what you've done and what you're about to do. And welcome back, and let's have an awesome year. So enjoy lunch, and thank you for the day. You did. That was awesome.